Welcome back to Let's Play Bound by Flame. I'm BurningDogFace, and we're here in a miserable swamp on the road to Valvenor. We're not alone. I guess that makes you my first party member, huh? Last time, well, we weren't overrun, on the plus side. Those goddamn scribes did get poor Calvun possessed by a fucking demon. So, you know, things aren't going according to plan.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
Oh, wow.
So Alas is your father?
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
That's handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me better than the others, and I expect no less from him.
At least that explains why you look like you just stepped out of a library. I guess he encourages you?
Yes, of course. But I'm big enough to make my own choices. Knowledge fascinates me, and I suppose it would have been like that whoever my father was.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest is to find the answers to all the great mysteries of this world.
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, but we're not an order of magicians. Even though some of us practice healing magic, but we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic used by the Lords of the Frozen Shadows, and we know very little about that domain, unfortunately.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can't research it, huh?
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would be helpful. But according to our archives, we were already studying magic more than 5 centuries ago.
Oh, really?
You know, I totally saw you shooting lightning bolts in the fight back in this temple. Just saying. I might as well go through it, huh?
What do you know about the Ice Lords?
As much as it is possible to know without having met them. In some ways, they're quite fascinating, even though the term might seem inappropriate.
Perfect. How do we kill him?
If I knew that, do you think I would keep it to myself? But I can tell you this, we do believe it's possible. We know that there are 7 lords. Black Storm, Lady Crystal, Marshal Winters, the White Lady, Lord Blackfrost, the Chiller, and the Ice Duchess.
Everybody knows that. We've had our asses kicked by them enough.
For sure. But in the past, there were more of them. Some scrolls talk of 9 or a dozen, even if 30 lords. Of course it's confusing, and I doubt they would have freely given the information of how to kill one of them, but you can bet that some of them have died. We just have to discover how.
Where did they come from?
Most people believe that the lords appeared recently, at the beginning of the war. But I have found certain scrolls that lead me to believe they have been around more than 300 years. They are originally from a region far to the north of Vergil. For a long time, they remained there. The beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer, maybe even the last century. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin. The dwarf kingdoms were in their way, and they put up a fight.
You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but dwarves? Save it for the children.
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist, but the Ice Lords exterminated them.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those poor dragons and goblins.
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist. You're impossible.
Do they have any weaknesses that we could exploit?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords are powerful sorcerers. They are far more powerful than all the other magicians. They have an unlimited army. If they have a weakness, it's not that.
But in spite of all of this, you think there is something?
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power.
Good word.
But that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pooled their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vertial, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're done.
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them. Even if for the moment, I can't think how.
Let's change the subject. Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
And what was the god's damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old texts, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. What do I do now?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then,
Ominous.
any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
Many of the people on Vertial believe that the World Heart is just a myth. There are many
Humor
different
me.
beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common than not.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born. I've already heard that crap.
If we were to imagine Vertial as a living being, the World Heart is exactly what it sounds like, the heart of the world. It's what keeps the world alive. It beats, and Vertial lives from its energy. If you wish, I can try to learn more about it. Come back and see me in a few days.
I haven't seen her combat style yet, so let's bail. Oh yeah, you know, it has just
They're
occurred to
all
me.
around us.
Oh, what in the fucking? Ow. It's like a flying bee spider nest. Oh, come on. That attack misses a lot. I don't like that.
I have to make a note on it.
No! Ah, hell with it. Oh, fuck, he just one-shot me at the end. Oh, god damn it, I have to go through that conversation again. Okay. Skip through all those options. You know, I did notice during the conversation that this sword here, since it doesn't have a cross piece on the hilt, once again, it's just the sword floating on my back. Which is weird, because I went to the trouble to make this, you know, exposed hilt for the sword. You'd think they would have thought not to make any swords like that. That's right, I wanted to make steel and gemstones. Oh yeah, there were other things, weren't there? Fuck. Recycling, huh? Wait, they make you do that by default, make 10 traps. Oh, fuck it then, I'll just get this. Being able to carry more weight always seems important. Oh, what was here? Wasn't it? Let's take a look at this. I don't actually plan to invest in this. So, the demon possession thing, that's kind of what I was getting at when I talked about knowing something about the story. I know you get possessed by a fire demon. That's why I thought people gave you the nickname Vulcan. That's why I was surprised to see Life of Blood. That's a good name. That's why I thought that it was curious that they gave you the nickname before the game began, apparently. Chance of critical hit increased, huh? Oh, yeah, I wrote this down. Shout out to Gone Rampant for informing me that when the game slows down, in combat I mean, it means that the next hit will be a critical hit if I make it connect. It's not just a flashy visual. And it was Neo Bear who informed me that parry just means block. That, unlike what a lot of video games will tell you, a counter, you countering an attack and turning it into a counterattack. I said that wrong. Blocking an attack and turning it into a counterattack is called a riposte, which I think I saw written in here somewhere. Oh well. Ah, there it was. There's more time to repost. Honestly, don't know. I was so busy the last couple of days, I didn't really have time to think about whether I was going to go warrior or ranger. See, this game is a big thing about resisting the demon. As I understand it, the more points you spend in Pyromancer, the more the demon takes over you. Spellcasting in this game is inherently evil. Fuck it, I'm gonna leave that point there and think about it.
They're all around us.
Touch to this. Ow. Sloppy. the plus side, you're dead. Fucking hell. I do remember that, actually. In Mars, it doesn't matter if the other party members get knocked out, because they'll just wake up again immediately at the end of combat. Fuck. Fucking scorpion crab, bees nests. Ha! More points. You alright? Oh. Thank you. Fucking, I got a ton of points. Okay, so far Warrior is serving me pretty well. Possession level 0%. Great! Let's look at these things I need to do. Fuck. Oh. Honestly, I would just start investing in both, but I don't know what the maximum level is. I don't know how many, these points I'm going to get, and there doesn't seem to be any way to reset your points. Ah, fuck, we barely move in this spot. Let's get out of here.
Not this way.
Oh.
I'm not going back to that temple.
My bad. This has not been a great episode so far. Fine. There. I have additional health regeneration when I'm below 30%, and I'm in warrior stance. And I can block attack. When I'm holding down R, I now block attacks from every direction. Vivacity, that's a good name. Oh look, I made it to amateur. I guess this. Oh. That would help, considering I keep fucking missing with that special attack. I think there's also supposed to be, moral choices that, impact the demon's effect on you. I remember hearing that the game has some effects on your character, like in Fable. In that, I think if you get evil enough, you actually grow horns and start glowing orange. Because you've got a fire demon inside of you. And they actually affect things, because if you've got horns, you can't equip helmets. But the bigger your horns are, I think you get more bonuses to your spellcasting.
This swamp is teeming with life. I can't wait to discover all the species that live here. There is so much to be learned.
It's just an example of, this game does sound surprisingly deep, especially compared to, Mars. Hello! Your companion can help you. Remember to adapt their attitude to your combat needs. Okay. Okay, so she said to that. Told you! Magic! It had a bag of tainted blood with it. I can put that away before I fucking hurt myself. Oh, alright. Let's do this. Chrysalid. The chrysalids use their gas-filled dorsal pouches to float in the air. They usually attack in groups, trying to overwhelm their adversaries with numbers. They all use their claws to strike those within reach, but some also spit projectiles, while the most dangerous can even poison their prey. Juggernaut. The Juggernauts are immense creatures of muscle and bone, animated by magic. The Ice Lords use them in raising sieges and destroying fortresses. Although they are slow, their slightest blow can shake walls. The glyphs that they wear attached to their lower limbs must be broken if they are to be defeated, and like any creature of the Deadwalkers, they are fairly sensitive to fire. Oh dear. Sorry about that. Bad timing for that. I guess we'll get into that next time. Apologies for, it's not being the most exciting episode. I mostly looked at menus, talked to Sybil, and walked about, oh, I'd say 100 feet. Well, they can't all be exciting. It's the nature of RPGs. I'm BurningDogFace, and I'll see you in the next episode of Let's Play Bound by Flame, when hopefully something exciting happens. Later!